Hello. You ask, I deliver, and we're going to talk about Rihanna and Drake today. And yes, I know, her and ASAP are now having a baby together, which I am so happy about. I'm so happy for them, but why not take a trip down memory lane? And here's my little disclaimer before people come and bash me for rehashing things. First of all, we're all doing it in private. We all are. Also, we're doing it in public because news outlets are all talking about this. But second of all, just because you don't let yourself enjoy pop culture and relationship dynamics and storytelling, don't put that shit on me and all the other people who want to watch this and care and have fun with it. This is going to be the longest intro ever. If you don't want to talk about this, just go to the next part. But there's been a lot of talk recently about whether talking about pop culture is right or wrong. And here's the thing. I am telling a story to y'all based on journalism that has already happened. And we're talking about relationship dynamics, friendship dynamics, communication, relationships with fame, and how fame impacts people's lives. Those are important topics. Gossip has been around for a very long time, and Fluently Forward has a fantastic video on this. Gossip has been around for a very long time because it protects us. It helps us to learn about society and about relationship dynamics and all of that stuff. It is important, whether you think it is or not. And these celebrities, if we never talked about their personal lives, would just be idols. All we would know about them is what their PR teams wanted us to know, which would set extremely unrealistic standards and would help nobody. Talking about their ongoings in their personal life is healthy. It humanizes them, which they are human. And it teaches us that we are all human. And you can do bad things and you can do good things. And you can have a hard relationship and a good relationship and a bad friendship and a good friendship. These are all things that we need to learn. So if you feel that you learn things from these, fantastic. If you feel that they're entertaining, that's okay. It is entertaining. We love talking about other people's lives because we love stories. That's what history is. That's what literature is. So just because you don't like something doesn't mean that other people can't like it or that it's not important. And with that being said, longest introduction ever, let's talk about Drake and Rihanna, two complete icons, so iconic that we know them just by their first name or their stage name. So in January of 2010, Drake does an interview with XXL magazine, and they have a lot of their celebrities do these. It's called Doing Lines, but it's basically a Mad Lib about their life. And they had one line that said, "People thought I was dating Rihanna, and that was," and he decided to put semi-true. Yes. Please, yes, give us that one breadcrumb so that we can obsessively follow the trail. It's actually genuinely what I truly love to do, Drake, so I'm being serious. Thank you. But also in January of 2010, we found out that Rihanna was dating Matt Kemp, who is a baseball player. But by April, we get rumors that Drake is also dating somebody else. He was dating Malia Michelle. She was a stripper, and she was in his Find Your Love music video. And then May 26, Drake releases Fireworks, and we all hear this line. "Who could have predicted Lucky Strike would have you stuck with me? Damn, I kept my wits about me luckily. What happened between us that night? It always seems to trouble me." And he also said, "You could have been the one, but it wasn't that serious." Obviously, we're all thinking, where have we heard the name Lucky Strike before? Oh yeah, that was the place that they were first seen together. Not exactly a subtle hint. And then June 9th, 2010, an article from the New York Times interviewing Drake comes out. And first of all, they just say as if it's fact that Fireworks is about Rihanna, which I do trust the New York Times. I mean, not that I don't trust Daily Mail and Page 6. I love your speculation. I love the tea. But New York Times is way less likely to speculate, way more reliable, so interesting to note. They also said, like it was fact, the two soon began seeing each other regularly, though they never publicly confirmed their brief relationship. And if all that wasn't enough, we get a direct quote from Drake. When I do this is a direct quote, by the way. And it says, "I was a pawn. You know what she was doing to me? She was doing exactly what I've done to so many women throughout my life, which is show them quality time, then disappear. I was like, wow, this feels terrible." That was more revealing than we could have ever asked for. And I'm glad that he now has some empathy for the women in his life. And June 15th, Drake continues to reveal his feelings in interviews. This time it was with the Frank and Wanda show. And he said, "It's been so long since a woman has made me feel small, and that's a real emotion." Basically, since he's been famous, women are fawning all over him, and he really hasn't experienced unrequited love since he became famous. And then October 15th, 2010, What's My Name is released, which is Rihanna and Drake's song together. What we were not ready for, though, was November 12th when they released the What's My Name music video. And they are very affectionate in this music video, and we are going to fully analyze it. And I know that on first inspection, we're thinking, it's a music video, they're just acting, okay? But let's think about this for a second. First of all, we know that music videos often feature the artist's significant others, okay? Tyga featured Kylie. George Craig featured Emma Watson. The Weeknd featured Bella Hadid. Also, we know that people who work together can easily develop feelings for each other. That shit is a tale as old as time. And especially when the work you're doing is acting like a full-blown couple. But also, just as much as some artists feature the people that they're in love with in their work, other artists pretend to be in love with people that they're planning on featuring for PR relationships. That's just Hollywood. So we saw the flirting. It looked pretty real. Drake is known to be a flirty guy, and Rihanna is known to be drop dead gorgeous and talented, so it makes sense why he would want to flirt with her. But people also said that they were being flirty off camera. And then November 15th, 2010, Rihanna does an interview and she talks about Drake's comments about her, about him being a pawn and all of that. She said that what he told the New York Times was not true and that she was never trying to play him or make them out to be anything more than friends. Also in this interview, though, she said that blogs, news outlets, pretty much, I guess, anybody that talks about celebrities, I'm assuming, is a community for people who don't have anything else to do and hate themselves. They hate their life, they hate their job, they hate their appearance, they're uncomfortable with who they are, so what makes them feel good is talking smack about other people. And I mean, I'm not ever trying to talk smack about people. Personally, I'm just trying to tell a story. But I think it's also kind of unfair to assume that people who like pop culture must hate themselves. Like, it's a prerequisite. And also, like, we all kind of hate ourselves, right? Don't y'all comment, I don't hate myself. Don't make me feel silly. Also, I do feel that if I keep making these jokes every so often, one of y'all might check me in for a Grippy Sock visit. So it's a joke. And it's only semi-true, to quote Drake. And then November 18th, Rihanna gives another interview and talks about their relationship a little bit more. She said, "We weren't really sure what it was. Basically, they were just hanging out and hooking up, but she didn't want to take it any further because she was at a really fragile time in her life," which is very fair. And then December 21st, Drake does a radio interview and Rihanna and Matt Kemp had just broken up, so they said, "Now that she's single, what's your plan?" But he continued to deny the romance rumors. They also roasted him for taking her to a bowling alley on that original date and said, "Hot girls don't like bowling, but the hottest girls love Wii bowling and play it to this day." I do. I'm referring to myself. January 4th, 2011, Rick Ross releases Made Men with Drake. And Drake has a line in it where he says, one of my baddest women ever, that wasn't the line. Okay, hold on, let me start over. "One of my baddest women ever, I call her Rihanna, but that's because her name is Rihanna." Obviously, this could mean something, or it could mean that he recognizes that everyone thinks they're dating and he's just making a little play on that. But people definitely assumed that they were dating, or at least they were dating when he wrote that verse. And then February 13th, 2011, the day before Valentine's Day, no less, Drake and Rihanna performed at the Grammys. And there was literal and figurative heat. Like, there's so much heat that I can't even show y'all the video. So go watch it. But, I mean, they really just said, Valentine's Day is tomorrow. So just in case you weren't lonely and horny already, here you go. In June of 2011, Drake was seen making appearances in Rihanna's concerts in Canada. And it was only 2 concerts in his home country, but people just assumed he was basically following her around the world at that point. There were photos of them taken at a club in Montreal though, and I know that this is so blurry, but they definitely look close, and some people did say that they were making out. But by August, rumors were going around that Drake was dating Kreayshawn. But she did an interview and denied that they were dating, and she said, "I'm not trying to snatch Rihanna's boo thing or nothing like that." Although she quickly followed it up by saying that she didn't know if the rumors were true. Also, so weird, in this interview, they mention that Drake is working with a new talent called The Weeknd. So weird. Never heard of him. No idea who he is. Never been roasted relentlessly for saying his name wrong in a series. No. Even though everybody that I know who has that name, they pronounce it Abel. So you can see how I got it from that. Selena pronounced it Abel. Anyways, go watch that series. But also in August, rumors were going around that Drake was dating Serena Williams. Although they both denied it, obviously. And then in October of 2011, Drake does an interview with Elle, and Rihanna is brought up. And he was in his feelings. He was being vulnerable. And honestly, good for him, because that is one of the many reasons that we love him. Especially women. The man knows how to open up. And this is a long quote, but I think that we need every part. At the time it hurt, but she didn't mean to. I'll never put that on her. I was hurt because I slowly started to realize what it was. I guess I thought it was more. That was the first girl with any fame that paid me any mind. You spend days reading about this person in magazines. All of a sudden, you have this #1 song and you're at some birthday party and there she is. And you're just some naive kid from Toronto staying in some shitty-ass hotel who got invited to this party on a whim. That's just how it happened. Sounds like a fan fiction, which I absolutely love, and I mean that genuinely. Also, I should have warned y'all that I was in a weird mood today. I'm very sorry. Although, I'm really just being myself. I'm like this. Normally, I'm just more serious on TikTok. I'm sorry. It's just all coming out today. Anyways, October 13th, 2011, another interview with Drake where he says that nothing is happening with Rihanna and that they haven't talked in a while. And then November 4th, 2011, DJ WooKid starts talking about Drake and Rihanna on a radio interview. He said that they supposedly fooled around and then said, I think he got elbowed by Chris Brown too, but that never came out. In the chin, like in the corner, left part, man down, simple as that. Later on Twitter, he said that it was all a joke, but it didn't really sound like a joke the way that he said it. Chris Brown's publicist also denied the claims, although I don't really expect his publicist or any publicist in their right mind, given his history, to just be like, yep, he hit them. And then November 15th, 2011, Drake releases Take Care with Rihanna. And I'm just going to say that I think this song is about her. And maybe it's not, but let me live. I think it's about her. And then November 15th, 2011, Drake does another interview. And again, he's at Best Buy. Is this from the same event? I can't remember if this is from November 15th or if I just used an old picture. He still said that he was hurt, but he clarified that we're cool. I was never torn apart by that situation. He also clarified that Chris Brown did not elbow him in the face, and that if he had, somebody would have gotten knocked the F out. But that him and Chris are also cool and he respects him. I wouldn't. Definitely not if I was close with Rihanna or dating her. Also in this interview, he said that Nicki Minaj, was his ideal woman. And that's a whole nother storyline, but she will come back up. April 10th, 2012, we get an interview with Rory Fenty, Rihanna's brother, and he says that her and Chris Brown are soulmates. I'll give you twin flames. That is the most I can give you on that, because they burn each other down. Love the way you lie style. I can see twin flames, but I'm not going to give you soulmates. I'm so sorry. I can't endorse that statement. He confirmed that she was single, and also confirmed that she used to date Drake, which, that's confirmation enough for me. He also casually says, I was nearly his brother-in-law, while talking about Drake saying hi to him on a night out. Excuse me, Rory, I can't tell if you're joking or not, and I'm gonna need elaboration. But after that interview in April, rumors start going around that Rihanna and Meek Mill are dating. And I couldn't find a lot of evidence other than them tweeting at each other and like a few appearances of them together. And at the time, Meek Mill denied it, and Rihanna said nothing that I could find. And this was one of the pictures where they said that they were together at the same place. Anyways, April 23rd, 2012, the Take Care music video is released. Obviously, Drake and Rihanna are both in it. And I don't know that this one is too intimate to be acting, but I still think the song is about her. And then May 8th, 2012, 2 Chainz releases No Lie with Drake. And people thought that Drake was talking about Rihanna in his verse because he said, all that looks like what's her name, chances are it's what's her name. And they thought that that was referencing Rihanna's song, What's My Name? He also said she could have a Grammy, I still treat her as like a nominee. And Rihanna does have a Grammy. If this was about Rihanna, he's talking about how he just slept with her once just for shits and giggles. But I can't 100% say that I think it's about her. And once again, I will say that I think people in the music industry use situations that have been in tabloids, even if they're not 100% true, in their music, because that shit sells, frankly. And, I mean, why not? It's music. It doesn't have to be 100% true. And in May 2012, we find out that Chris Brown took Meek Mill off a song that they were supposed to do together because he heard the rumors about him and Rihanna dating. Which makes me think that maybe they weren't rumors. And I'm not going to show y'all all the tweets because it's just harder for the people who review this to look through all the text, but y'all can look up pictures if you want. But starting May 26, 2012, there was some Twitter drama. And it all started when at 4 a.m., Meek Mill tweeted out, "You took me off your song because she let me watch The Throne. Hashtag dreams and nightmares." Chris then tweeted, "She's a dream chaser. There are a lot of dreamers, so she'll be running forever." And after that shit went off, Drake tweeted, "Oh, that's your hoe? That's our hoe too, LOL." Meek then tweeted again and said, "These chicks belong to the game, not you. Never get confused and think that's all you." And then Rihanna shut it all down and tweeted, "The best part is that I get to choose." And then the next day, she tweeted her Instagram post of the day, which was a photo that she posted that said, "F what you think." So there you go. But then May 30th, 2012, Drake and Rihanna are seen out at a club together. And once again, people were saying that they were getting very intimate. They definitely seemed like they were together, yada, yada, yada. But then by June 2012, Rihanna seems to be dating Chris Brown again. They were seen leaving a club together, and they also allegedly went to a Miami Heat game with her family. June 14th, 2012, at a club in New York, Drake and Chris Brown get in a fight. So allegedly, Chris and his crew, team, I don't know if it was his PR team or just him and his friends, but they sent over a bottle of champagne to Drake and his crew. And Drake decided to send back a note that said, "I'm effing the love of your life. Deal with it." It's not funny. The note was mean. It was mean, and what happened afterwards was not good. But just like a small part of me wants to laugh at the note, just a little bit. It's not funny. But the more that I say that it's not funny, the more I want to laugh. So we have to move on. So at the end of the night, Drake went over to Chris, and they spoke, and then a bottle was thrown from somebody on Drake's side. Drake, a friend, we don't know. And then at that moment, all hell broke loose and there were more bottles thrown. So not great. Chris's bodyguard was injured. Some other people at the club were injured. Horrible. Chris also had a cut on his chin, and he tweeted a photo of it with the caption, "Throwing bottles like girls? Shame on ya." But then he deleted it. So Drake's publicity team came out and said that they didn't do anything. And Chris's publicity team came out and said that they were the victims of a brutal attack. So there's two stories coming out. September 6, 2012 was the VMAs, and the camera happens to go on Rihanna right after Drake wins his award. She didn't clap and she turned her head away, which people made a big deal about, but could be nothing. But people also thought that they could see her mouth moving and making out the words, "I hate those a-holes." And I will say, after watching it, it definitely does look like that. And then in October of 2012, Drake was rumored to be dating Sophia Marie, who was in his Best I Ever Had music video. December 18th, 2012, Rihanna tweets and says, "Being single sucks. The only thing I get to do anymore is whatever the F I want to do." And Chris had apparently been seen with models around that time, so maybe that they were just broken up, but it was temporary. Because December 25th, 2012, on Christmas, we see Rihanna and Chris go to a basketball game together, and they're clearly together. And then February 10th, 2013, they show up to the Grammys together. In case we needed any more confirmation, I mean, that's as official as it gets in Hollywood. But apparently Rihanna texted Drake at some point in the night, and Chris saw, and of course they got in a huge fight about it. And the source said that since that night, they've barely spoken, so possibly broken up. And after that, Chris was seen with his ex, so not a great sign either. April 12th, 2013, Drake does an interview and they bring up Chris. And Drake basically told them to never talk to Chris about him because of his insecurities. The fact that I make better music than him, that I'm more popping than him, and that at one point in life, the woman that he loves fell into my lap. I did what a real man would do and treated her with respect. And in June, he does another interview with GQ and he talks about Rihanna and Chris again. And it's a long paragraph, so I'm going to omit parts where he's just reiterating his point and just give you the juicy stuff. He said, "I don't want my name to be synonymous with that guy's name." That guy being Chris, of course. "I wish we could sit down and talk it out man to man, but that's not going to happen. It's embarrassing, the amount of media coverage, two rappers fighting over the woman. He's not even a rapper, but still. But he's made me the enemy, and that's the way it's going to stay, I guess." He also said, "I get the feeling it's going to end really badly." And we didn't know if he was talking about Chris and Rihanna's relationship or his feud with Chris, because either could have ended badly, honestly. June 30th, 2013 is the BET Awards, and Rihanna and Chris are both there, although I'm pretty sure that they went separately. But Drake is not there. And rumors came out afterwards that Rihanna called Drake to thank him for not showing up because she was worried that there might be an altercation if he did. July 9th, 2013, we get reports that Rihanna and Drake are starting to get close again. First of all, the insiders said that she pretty much called him up as soon as her and Chris broke up, and that she said that she might have picked the wrong guy. Which I do agree with her on that. They also said that Drake has been in love with her this whole time and has just been patiently waiting for her, but he was very torn up about her renewing her relationship with Chris, which I think we all kind of were. It just wasn't a good relationship. We want the best for them, so. And then August 7th, 2013, Hold On, We're Going Home is released. And people definitely thought that this was about Rihanna. And then August 25th, 2013, the night of the VMAs, Drake and Rihanna are seen out together at dinner before the event. And they were with other people, like they had all of their friends there, but supposedly they were getting close. And then September 20th, 2013, Drake goes on Ellen. And of course, she brought up Rihanna, as Ellen does, with her face like blown up on the screen behind them.
Yeah, great girl. We had our moment, and always support and have love for her, and yeah.
A little nervous. Okay. And, here's another one. The next one is.
I heard myself saying something else, and I know I'm gonna watch it back and be like, that wasn't what I thought I said. Anyway, sorry. Go on. Okay.
You want to go back and do that one over?
No, I don't want to. I'm not into do-overs.
No.
In any
way?
Yeah.
Really? All right.
Which is an ironic thing to say.
Yeah, that answered.
I agree. Ironic is definitely the way to describe you saying that you're not into do-overs. Ironic bordering on untrue. So November 11th, 2013, we get reports that Drake came to see Rihanna at her concert in Dallas and took her to dinner afterwards. And a few days later, we see Rihanna at Drake's concert. And then afterwards, Drake was supposedly at a strip club, which is believable, and Rihanna showed up, and supposedly they sat together and very much looked to be together. But in December 2013, rumors come out that Rihanna and A$AP Rocky went on a date. There were off and on rumors about them pretty much all year because they went on tour together and they had a song together, but there weren't really any traction on any of them, and he was dating Chanel Iman at the time, so it wasn't really plausible. And then February 13th, 2014, Drake does an interview with Rolling Stone, and of course they ask him about Rihanna. He said, "She's the ultimate fantasy. I mean, think about it. Like, man, that would be good. We have fun together. She's cool and shit, but we're just friends. That's my dog for life." But at the time, he said he was single, although we do know that interviews are sometimes done before they're actually published, most of the time. But either way, very flattering for Rihanna. And then between February and March of 2014, Drake and Rihanna were doing multiple concerts together, and people were saying that he was serenading her. And yes, I mean, this is their job, so like, is it just work? I don't know. But I would be lying if I said that I didn't get butterflies just watching that. I did, and you know that you did too. It's very much giving the same energy as Justin and Selena in that One Less Lonely Girl concert. It's so similar in energy. My 12-year-old self got the butterflies, my current self getting the butterflies. And there were even rumors around this time that Drake was trying to get her parents' permission to propose. And then April 3rd, 2014, Days in the East is released by Drake. First of all, Stay by Rihanna is sampled on this track. So let me just give y'all some choice lyrics here. Told you about giving him chances on chances on chances. He's not holding you down, he's holding you back right now. Before you said you're mine, I was yours already. 22 had the Bentley 4-door ready. He was 22 when they first met. And then, F them hoes, you got the award already. And she does have a Grammy. And then, ain't the first time 'cause I've lost you before. Which is true. And then April 9th of 2014, Drake and Rihanna are seen at the same club together again. And people said that they went away alone together for 10 minutes and came back and her lipstick was all over his face. And at this point, people were seeing them together or in the same location pretty often. Or at least they were saying they were. So we all see this beautiful jewel on Rihanna's hand. Well, April 16th, 2014, the reports were that Drake bought her this, and it is $42,000, a yellow diamond, not an engagement ring, but just like a casual I love you ring, that's $42,000. May 6, 2014, Rihanna has a Met Gala after party and Drake does not show up. And people are kind of curious. What's going on? Did they break up? Why isn't he there? And sure enough, May 14th, 2014, reports are that Rihanna and Drake broke up. And there are a couple different stories as for the reasoning. One source said that they were fighting and that he is too in love with her, which has always been the problem. Okay? I did also see cheating allegations that Drake was cheating on Rihanna. So, two stories. Then July 16th, 2014 is the ESPYs, and Drake does a skit with Blake Griffin. And Drake's team reached out to Chris Brown to see if he wanted to be a part of it. And they both decided to just leave it behind them and start anew. Which is a lot easier to do when neither of you are dating her. And the skit was basically just that Drake and Blake Griffin were fighting, and Chris Brown comes in at one point to do the appendix removal surgery for Drake. It's funny, it's short, it's a very small cameo. Then August 6, 2014 is OVO Festival, and Drake performs Days in the East. And behind him while he's performing are these images of Rihanna and sixes, and they're red, and there was flames. So people immediately assumed that he's calling her the devil, of course. He tweeted afterwards to clarify and say that he was not saying anything about Rihanna and the devil in any capacity, and that the 6 was not for 666, it was for views from the 6, as in Toronto. And then August 19th, Drake and Rihanna are seen going to the same club, but separately. Not really enough for me, but if you want to speculate, feel free. And then October 31st, 2014, Chris Brown is interviewed and asked about Rihanna and Drake, and specifically whether she dated him on purpose. So keep that question in mind, and here's his answer.
Purpose? She gonna be mad if I say it, but in a way I do. Because at the end of the day,
She wanted to hurt you a little bit.
yeah, a little bit, you know.
And that's understandable.
It's understandable. You know, it's the game. We young.
They also asked him about the club fight, and he said that it really wasn't anything serious. It was just a stupid pride thing. And he did say that he had no bad feelings anymore. And in January 2015, rumors come out that Rihanna was seen with Leonardo DiCaprio kissing at a Playboy Mansion party. And this was the start of their relationship, which was never officially confirmed, I don't think. And Valentine's Day of 2015, Drake sent Rihanna flowers, even though they weren't together and she's hooking up with Leonardo DiCaprio, but just to be sweet. On February 23rd, 2015, Chris Brown does another interview where he is asked about Rihanna. Again, I'm sure he's asked about her in almost every interview. The quote that everybody picked up on, though, was when he said, "Who else in the game is she gonna go to? Some corny singing rapper?" So maybe him and Drake aren't as cool as we thought they were. And then March 12th, 2015, we get rumors that Drake is indeed bitter. Not about Chris Brown, because this man has horse blinders on, Rihanna straight ahead. He is bitter about Rihanna and Leo's relationship, supposedly. And the sources said that Drake thought that it was a PR relationship, which it 100% could have been. But the reason that he thought it was a PR relationship is because he said that Rihanna likes buff guys, and Leo at this point was rocking the dad bod. And she wouldn't settle for less than flat abs, according to Drake and inside sources, not actually Drake. And April 2015, Drake is performing at Coachella, and guess who's watching? If you answered Rihanna, you are correct. And people assumed that this meant that they were dating again automatically. I don't know how you can just grab that from her watching in the crowd. Some reports did say that she was backstage, though, but I only saw her in the crowd, so I don't know. But Coachella of 2015 was also when we got that fantastic video of Robert Pattinson dancing to Drake. Definitely look it up. And also, Drake being kissed by Madonna. Yeah. Y'all remember that? Is it coming back now? I forgot about it completely until I started researching this. Remember that? That face that he made? Anyways, May 8th, 2015, maybe the Coachella rumors were right, because Rihanna reportedly went to Drake's studio and they were talking about their future and kissing. And then May 26th, Drake is on tour and he goes to sing his song Madonna, but instead he decides to change Madonna to Rihanna. Maybe he just didn't want to stir the pot after all that Madonna stuff and people claiming he hated the kiss and whatever, which he said that he didn't. But maybe, just maybe, he just loves Rihanna. Meanwhile, A$AP Rocky released the song Jukebox Joints, which a lot of people thought was about Rihanna because he has a line in there where he says, "Under my umbrella for different weather, Ella, Ella, A." and then said, taking pictures anytime we get together and hope to fly away one day just like some lovebirds. So obviously he's referencing the Umbrella song, but everyone took that as confirmation that they had been dating. I don't know. I only see that as confirmation that people thought that they were dating, and he knows that. And then in June of 2015, we find out that Rihanna is dating Karim Benzema. He's a soccer player. And July, there's rumors that she is hooking up with Lewis Hamilton. He is a race car driver. September of 2015, there were rumors that Rihanna was dating Travis Scott. But if that was true, it was very short-lived. And then in October of 2015, Rihanna does an interview with Vanity Fair, and she said that Chris Brown was her most recent boyfriend. So reading between the lines here, her and Drake were never official, and all of these other men, nothing serious. And immediately, a source from Drake's side tells the tabloids that he agrees with her on that, and that he wasn't trying to go there with her on that type of commitment level. She's a lovely woman, but she's too wild and out of control for him. That attitude and party animal energy is fun every now and then, but that's not what he's looking for long term, especially not in a wife. Okay. I really get the sense that not everybody is feeling super happy right now. Maybe there's some hard feelings. And then January 14th of 2016, we see that Drake and Rihanna are recording a video together. People spotted them doing the recording, and we didn't know what music video it was yet, but we knew they were back working together. And then January 27th, Rihanna releases Work featuring Drake. And on February 22nd, she shares some pictures from the Work music video. So that's obviously what they were shooting before. Don't think this is one of the pictures, but wow, they were really something. They very much were giving us the impression that they were together, or that they liked each other in some capacity. Or they're just fantastic actors, which I know that Drake has acted in the past, so who knows? And then February 23rd, they are both seen leaving the same club in London. Not together, but same club. And then February 24th was the Brits, and Drake and Rihanna performed together. She was twerking on him, having a great time. Twerking doesn't really necessarily mean anything. It's just a performance, but we were all very convinced that they were back together at this point. And then March 22nd, we see Drake appear in one of Rihanna's concerts, and they also go out together afterwards. And honestly, this seems to be a pattern after the Brits. They were seen a lot in concert together and then going out together, which makes sense. I mean, if you're on tour with someone, why not go out with them afterwards? You know, like, you want to have fun still. That could be completely platonic. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean anything. But the dancing, sexy. And in March, we also saw them go ice skating together, visit a hospital together, and we also saw Drake draw a heart on one of Rihanna's magazine covers. Then May 3rd, Drake does an interview with Zane Lowe about his songs with Rihanna.
The chemistry and the collaboration and the history that you guys...
Well, I think that's what makes the records better, though, because there's something genuine there. We're not, like, forcing some story on people. I mean, it's, you know, a lot of the music that we make and the energy that we bring is genuine. I mean, we have a lot of genuine energy between us, so.
Notice that he not only is not denying the history and chemistry, but saying that it's 100% real and it's what makes their music great. So May 5th, 2016, Drake and Rihanna are seen yet again after a concert together, but this time people had a little bit more to say. They said that they were being very affectionate. And there were also sources saying that they were actually dating, they were just keeping a secret because this time around they wanted to do it right. May 14th of 2016, Drake does SNL, and in his monologue, he pretends to be Rihanna. And in his impression, he's singing, and he sings about how they're just friends. In June of 2016, rumors were going around that Drake and Hailey Baldwin were dating. There was pictures of them on nights out, sources saying that they were very flirty, etc., etc. But then June 12th, Rihanna and Drake are seen leaving a club together again, and that is Rihanna. I know it's very blurry, whatever, but it's them. And June 29th, while Rihanna was on tour in the UK, they were also seen at a club together. July 26, 2016, Drake released his album Views, which is his best album in my humble opinion. And Too Good is a fantastic song with Rihanna on that album. August 3rd, 2016, it seems that Rihanna and Drake are dating again. But they're not making it official, and the reports were that Rihanna didn't want to be exclusive, but Drake did. So in August of 2016, Drake was touring with Future, and Rihanna showed up for a couple of the shows to, you know, sing. It's not that weird because they do have multiple songs together at this point. But what was unusual was that Drake said, "You showed up 2 nights in a row for my city. You might have to go half on a baby." Because every time you're in a city 2 nights in a row for work, you have to have a child with that work partner. Yep, that's it. That's all that's going on. August 26, 2016, Rihanna posts on Instagram a billboard that OVO and Drake got her. As you can see, it says, "Congratulations to Rihanna from Drake and everyone at OVO." And along with that, a scam website went up that was drakeandrihanna.com, and it had a countdown, so everybody assumed either they were about to announce an album together or announce their engagement. But alas, we got neither. Anyways, the billboard, they could have just said OVO because he is a part of OVO. So I'm seeing that specific call out as a clear sign, and possibly a sign that this is a PR relationship, because that's really drawing attention to it. So August 28th of 2016 was the VMAs, and Rihanna won the Michael Jackson Video Vanguard Award. And guess who was presenting it to her? Yes, Drake. And I really can only show a very small part of the speech, the part that's most important to our story right now, but his presentation for her was extremely long and very sweet.
She's someone I've been in love with since I was 22 years old. She's one of my best friends in the world. All my adult life, I've looked up to her, even though she's younger than me. She's a living, breathing legend in our industry. Ladies and gentlemen, the recipient of the Michael Jackson Vanguard Award for 2016. Rihanna.
So first of all, he said he'd been in love with her since 22. That'd be right around 2009. Thank you for the timeline check, Drake. But we really all were holding our breath, expecting him to go down on one knee and propose, but he did not. There were still engagement rumors for a couple weeks afterwards, though. Also, let's analyze that kiss situation at the end. People at first thought that she was just giving him the cheek, but upon further inspection, with the camera from a different angle, they did in fact kiss. And afterwards, they apparently got dinner together and went to an after party together, and they were said to be so affectionate and adoring the entire night. Definitely a couple. In September 1st, 2016, they kiss on stage during a concert. So, confirmation part 2. And to just keep rolling with it, September 4th, we find out that they have matching tattoos. They're camo sharks, and supposedly they represent an aquarium date that they had together. Very cute. Then September 12th, they are performing together again, and Drake says to the crowd, "I pray that you find somebody that holds you down like this woman right here." And they were, of course, being kind of cuddly, intimate. I mean, they're performing love songs. But he did not have to say that. And then October 8th, 2016, Bad Gallery reposts on Instagram a very 2013 style Instagram post with just text. Here it is in all its glory. Just give that a read. "None of my exes are married or in happy relationships, so it's safe to say that I wasn't the problem. LOL." Also, side note, her profile picture makes me crack up. Like the stick figure, I love that. I love that Rihanna is using a stick figure. As you might have been able to guess from her cryptic Instagram post, on October 11th, 2016, we find out that Drake and Rihanna have broken up again. Want to guess why? I bet you can if you've seen any of my other series. Busy schedules, of course. Even though Drake immediately started seeing another girl, he was seeing India Love, she's a model. But there were also multiple reports that they were still together, they had just made it an open relationship because they couldn't see each other as much. So that's also a possibility at this point. But then December 2016, rumors start going around that Drake and J-Lo are dating. They were seen out at restaurants together, and they posted this Instagram photo, which definitely looks like a couple photo. And Rihanna, very coincidentally, unfollowed J-Lo on Instagram after that. And once again, I really think even though an unfollow or a follow might not mean that much to us average people, I think that celebrities do it to indicate their feelings on matters without having to use a publicist and sugarcoat everything. In January 2017, a rumor goes around that Drake was at a club with J-Lo and he asked the DJ to play Work, but then he stopped it in the middle and said, "That was an old vibe." Also in January 2017, Drake was seen with Sophie Brousseau. They ended up having a kid together, as we know, but that's later in the year. But they weren't ever really dating, I don't think. And by February of 2017, Drake and J-Lo are broken up. It was short-lived. And since he was out with Sophie Brousseau before they officially broke up, I'm going to guess that they actually broke up before that, and we just didn't know about it. On February 20th of 2017, Drake has a concert and he wishes Rihanna a happy birthday. He said, "It's somebody's birthday today. Somebody I have a lot of love and a lot of respect for." And then he played Work. In June of 2017, Rihanna starts dating Hassan Jamil, and I don't know if this is him actually, because I'm pretty sure we saw this man already. Maybe it was just a similar hat. I don't know. I'm confused. This may or may not be him, but he's a businessman, which they pretty much never elaborate on in articles because I guess who cares what you do if you're not a celebrity? But anyways, they were the same age, they met, yay, they're dating, and people were telling the tabloids that Drake was not too pleased and that he didn't feel that Hassan deserved her. Basically, this man was bitter. So August 2017, we can't help but notice that Drake and Nicki are hanging out a lot together. The rumors were, though, that they were both just trying to make Rihanna mad. Nicki because Rihanna had sided with Remy Ma when they were having issues, and Drake, obviously, we know why he would want to make her jealous. And just like they wanted, people were telling the tabloids that Rihanna was upset and that she always felt like he was obsessed with Nicki. Which, do we remember at the beginning of the series when he was saying that Nicki was a dream girl? However, the sources also said that it basically backfired on Drake because Rihanna definitely has no plans to get back together with Drake. As far as she's concerned, Nicki can have him. In May of 2018, Rihanna did an interview with Vogue, and they did bring up Drake, and she talked about him a little bit. She said, "We don't have a friendship now, but we're not enemies either. It is what it is." She also said that profession of love at the VMAs was the most uncomfortable part of accepting the award. And I mean, yeah, I can imagine. I mean, I didn't want to say anything because I thought they were in love. But even if I was in love with somebody, I feel like telling the whole world on national TV is like, oh, it's a little bit much. It's a little bit much. And it does seem like that was her deal too, because she said, "I don't like too many compliments." She's a humble gal. Don't embarrass her like that. And right after that, we noticed that they're not following each other on Instagram anymore. So if anybody was wondering if Drake reads Vogue, the answer is he does. And he does know that Rihanna got the ick. From May to September of 2018, Drake was seen with a bunch of different girls. He was clearly dating around. I will say that a lot of these girls were barely legal. Just a note, they were legal. Barely. And in June of 2018, we find out that Rihanna is single again. June 29th, 2018, Drake releases Scorpion, the album. Perfect. More music to analyze. And we do have some, so let me give you some choice lyrics here. So, Summer Games, the main point of it is, "You said I love you too fast, so much for that girl, summer just started and we're already done." But he also throws in this, "Said you want a simple life and that's not me, how you go from that to ending up with someone just like, you're confusing me, don't have me wasting my time." That's the one I think is most likely to be about Rihanna. Some people are also saying maybe Jaded was about Rihanna, but it's about a girl who wants to be famous first before dating, and Rihanna is plenty famous already. Finesse was another one that they were attaching to Rihanna, but I'm pretty sure that one is about Bella Hadid, just my opinion, because he does talk about Fashion Week and You and Your Sister Too Hot to Handle. And finally, some people also thought that Nice for What might be about Rihanna, but I don't know. I feel like it's too vague to really guess on that one. So July 5th, 2018, the tabloids are reporting on Rihanna's thoughts about Drake revealing that he is a child. And of course, these aren't like her exact thoughts. These are from inside sources, so take it with a grain of salt. But honestly, I wouldn't be that surprised if celebrities gave stuff like this to their friends to tell tabloids so that it doesn't come exactly from them, but they also get their opinion out there without having to use a publicity team that's going to make it as palatable as possible. Anyways, apparently Rihanna wasn't surprised, but would be happy if he steps up and becomes a good present father. On October 15th of 2018, Drake was on LeBron James' show and he talks about Rihanna. And here's the exact quote. "As life takes shape and teaches you your own lessons, I end up in this situation where I don't have the fairy tale. Like, oh, Drake started a family with Rihanna and this is like so perfect. It looks so good on paper. By the way, I wanted that too at one time." Always a man in his feelings. And we love that, Drake. We really do. I think it wasn't just about Rihanna though. His son had recently turned 1 as well, and obviously he's not with the mom. So I think part of it was also kind of like, you know, life turns out in weird ways sometimes, not exactly how you expect, but it's still great. May 20th of 2019, Rihanna is asked about collabing with Drake in the future, and she essentially just says, nah, I'm good. And then June 8th, 2019, Chris Brown releases No Guidance with Drake. Yes, a collab that we did not see coming. And yes, people were shocked and appalled. People could not believe that Drake was working with Chris after everything that happened between him and Rihanna. October 23rd, 2019, Rihanna attends Drake's birthday party. And apparently it seemed that all was good between them and everybody was happy. Also, side note, they got McDonald's delivered to the club, which is such an amazing choice. December 2nd, 2019, Rihanna and ASAP show up together at the British Fashion Awards. And after that, people thought that they might be dating, but we did not get any confirmation. December 27th, 2019, Drake finally addresses why he did the song with Chris. He basically just said that they were cool now, neither of them were with Rihanna, so there was really just no reason to be upset anymore. He also said, I actually had a moment of hesitation before because I didn't want her to ever feel disrespected by me linking up with him, but I also know how many nights she knows that me and him have been both consumed by this issue. And Rihanna may be totally cool with it, I don't know. But all I'm saying is that if I were Rihanna, I would assume that anybody that respected and loved me would not work with my abuser. Anyways, January 19th of 2020, they're both seen at the same charity event, so dating rumor. And she was also hanging out with A$AP Rocky that day, so double dating rumors. From February to March of 2020, Drake was supposedly dating Iman Hammam, and she's a Victoria's Secret model. Obviously, look at her. In March of 2020, Rihanna and Drake start chatting over Instagram Live for the entire world to see. He was like flirting and telling her to release her album, and she said, get Drake some water. As in, why is this man still so incredibly thirsty for me? I don't know, though, that could just be good PR, honestly. And then July 15th, 2020, Drake decides to take a little vacation. He deserves it. And where is he gonna go? The Barbados, which is where Rihanna is from. And he also visited Rihanna Drive, which is where her childhood home is and is obviously named after her. And he also hung out with her brother. I'm not saying an entire country is off limits, but it is a little bit weird to go on vacation and see your ex's childhood home on the street that's named after her with her brother in her home country. Like, would you be doing that? Ask yourself that question. I'm confused. And then December 1st, 2020, Rihanna and A$AP go public with their relationship. And then April 12th of 2021, Rihanna and A$AP both show up to a party hosted by Drake. And it seemed like they were all good, all happy, like they were all getting along. Everything was fine. Although, some people were, of course, saying that Drake didn't like A$AP. Of course, some people are going to say that because they want there to be issues. But other sources said that he really liked A$AP. So we're going to assume the best. In June of 2021, Drake was rumored to be dating Johanna Leia. She is Aaron Bailey's ex. It says she's an actor on Google. I don't know. And June 25th, we noticed that the matching shark tattoo that they both had is not on Rihanna anymore. See, here it was before. She covered it. I take that as a sign that they are done. And then on September 3rd of 2021, Drake releases Certified Lover Boy, the album. Let's read into lyrics together. And the song that people thought could be about Rihanna was called Effing Fans. So here's some lyrics. I'm still working on me and I'm coming back better for you. You said I was effing up when I was out here effing fans. Hard for me to justify the women I was into, especially when the whole entire world wished they had you. They did. Everybody wished they had Rihanna. He also said, then I had a kid even though I never planned to. I cannot imagine when your girls gave you that news. Dialing, I'ma say 2014 because you're on the same shit that you was on before. Did you just say 2014? 2014 as in definitely a year that you were dating Rihanna? I saw that. And then he says, I know you're not happy, girl. Everybody knows. Could see it in your boyfriend's eyes at the show. Oof. And now we know, January 31st, 2022, A$AP and Rihanna announced Rihanna's pregnancy. And of course, everybody started making memes about Drake's reaction because he's an emotional guy and it was one of her longest relationships. And I think Drake is really missing an opportunity if he doesn't mention it in at least one song, but I'm sure that he's gonna do that. I mean, come on. This man's a genius. He knows PR better than me. And February 1st of this month, the next day, Drake unfollowed Rihanna and ASAP on Instagram. But a day later, he did decide to follow ASAP again, although not Rihanna. Which, to be fair, she doesn't follow him, and ASAP does follow Drake. He also has been posting a lot of photos bundled up in the snow, all moody and cold and lonely. I don't know if those are related. Part of me thinks that everything he does is intentional, but another part of me thinks that maybe it's unrelated and it's just lining up well with the theories. And it might just be to bait us for publicity. I mean, I don't know. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment any additions you might have or any thoughts or opinions. I'd love to hear them, as well as any series suggestions or new video suggestions in general. And if you want to see more of me and more of my series, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you next week with another one.